Before the skyscrapers of Los Santos towered over their lives, before the chaos of heists and betrayal, Michael, Trevor, and Franklin lived lives that were far from glamorous. But how did a high school football star, a troubled Canadian military dropout, and a street-smart hustler wind up as the chaotic trio we know today? Their pasts aren't just stories. They're the foundations for the madness to come. Here's the catch. Their lives before GTA 5 are darker, messier, and far more surprising than you might think. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why these three were destined to collide. Let's start where it all began, Michael's childhood. But fair warning, it's not what you'd expect. Before Michael DeSanta became the wealthy yet miserable ex-criminal we meet in GTA 5, he was just Michael Townley, growing up in a tough neighborhood in the Midwest. As a kid, Michael had one dream: to escape his dead-end surroundings. A natural athlete, he poured all his energy into football, becoming the star quarterback of his high school team. But even then, Michael struggled with insecurity. He wanted more than just local fame. He wanted respect. And when football didn't offer the fast path to success, he took a darker route. Small-time thefts turned into bigger scores, and Michael realized he was good at one thing: robbing banks. During his early heist days, Michael met Amanda, a feisty stripper with dreams of escaping her own troubled life. Their love story was, well, let's just say, not exactly a fairy tale. They bonded over their shared desperation to make it big, but their relationship was a ticking time bomb. Still, Amanda stuck with Michael as he rose through the ranks of the criminal underworld. They built a life together, even as Michael's obsession with power and wealth started to spiral out of control. But this wasn't the only volatile relationship Michael had brewing. Enter Trevor Phillips, the man who would become his closest ally and his greatest enemy. Trevor Phillips didn't grow up dreaming of riches or success. In fact, Trevor's childhood is more like something out of a horror story. Born and raised in rural Canada, Trevor's earliest memories were anything but happy. His father was an abusive drunk, and his mother, well, let's just say she wasn't winning any Parent of the Year awards either. Trevor's home life left deep scars. He became a ticking time bomb of anger and self-destruction. But amidst the chaos, he discovered something he was naturally good at: flying planes. Joining the military seemed like an escape, but Trevor's volatile personality made him a nightmare to work with. Long story short, he was dishonorably discharged, and that was just the start of his descent. Trevor turned to smuggling, drug dealing, and of course, violence. But in the middle of all this madness, he found a rare connection: Michael Townley. The two met during a botched robbery, and instead of killing each other, they teamed up. Trevor saw Michael as the one person who got him. But as you can probably guess, Trevor's loyalty would eventually be tested in the worst way possible. Keep this in mind. Trevor doesn't handle betrayal well. And Michael? Well, he's not exactly the loyal type. But we'll come back to that. While Michael and Trevor were out chasing big scores, Franklin Clinton was just a kid trying to survive the streets of South Los Santos. Raised by his Aunt Denise after his parents abandoned him, Franklin's childhood was tough. Without a stable family, Franklin turned to the streets to find a sense of belonging. By his teenage years, Franklin was boosting cars and running small-time hustles. But here's the thing about Franklin: he wasn't just a criminal. He was smart, driven, and wanted more than the hand life had dealt him. He dreamed of breaking out of the hood and becoming someone. Franklin's big break came when he started working for Simeon Yatarian, a shady luxury car dealer. It wasn't glamorous, but it put Franklin in the driver's seat, literally. And then came the moment that changed everything: a repo job that put him face to face with Michael. What Franklin didn't realize was that this chance encounter wasn't just a turning point for him. It was the moment all three of their lives would start to collide. But what brought Michael and Franklin together in the first place? Also, side note, can we talk about Simeon? The man feels like he moonlights as a get-rich-quick seminar speaker. Michael, Trevor, and Franklin were three men with completely different lives, but one thing united them: desperation. Michael, tired of the criminal life, struck a secret deal with the FEB to fake his death and retire in Los Santos. Trevor? He believed Michael was dead, until he started putting the pieces together. And Franklin? He was just looking for an opportunity to make something of himself, not realizing he was stepping into a web of lies, betrayal, and chaos. Together, they became an unlikely trio, but their partnership was built on shaky foundations. Michael's secrets, Trevor's explosive temper, and Franklin's growing realization that he was in over his head. The events leading up to GTA 5 are a storm of ambition, revenge, and betrayal that you don't want to miss. And trust me, what happens next is even crazier. But we'll save that for another time. Michael, Trevor, and Franklin didn't just stumble into chaos, they were shaped by it. Their childhoods, their relationships, their choices, they all led to the events of GTA 5. If you found this deep dive into their lives fascinating, don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and share your favorite moment from their stories in the comments below. This was just the beginning. Until next time, keep your wits sharp and your stars low.